But one of the big narratives that I think we have to touch on very early here as we're about to watch the pistol is what the desk mentioned about Primi. Talon only needed to win one game to get them to champs after they'd earned that spot in playoffs. They brought in Primi. He got a 4K on both sides of Lotus in the match they played against Secret to win those pistols. He literally won them that map just through that impact. Whereas Vitality on the other side, winning nearly 60% of their pistol rounds, 60% of their bonuses. They are used to getting off to hot beginnings in these maps. Only one narrative can prevail here.
Let's see if that raw firepower of Primi is enough to carry them over the line, or will it be those set ideas that Vitality have coming into it? Early on, you're seeing it. Vitality posture over towards the B side here with a nice and early haunt. Doesn't reveal too much, and perfectly willing to slow it all down.
Sender's going to want to be looking to bait out this barrier mesh.
Talon reclear. Up through B, looks like they're thinking about it. It's in the back of their minds, and they do bait out some of that utility, but Runner needs to put his best foot forward. And he does so with that opening kill.
So they break the barrier mesh, force out all of the utility from Ban. No deadlock util left around. And this trip kind of stops JitBoys in his tracks.
Good nade from Governor now.
Look how
Blaze almost the inevitable.
Look how well Vitality are bleeding out utility here, and they still have nearly full breach util and paranoia and horn and boombot. Vitality are winning the utility game right now.
Losing the map control game. JitBoys though, Jiggle Pete gets the info, needs to back away here with a paranoia to bail himself out, even go for the swing himself. Tagged up with a few stray bullets. Does need to play for his life here though. And Trex has been isolated, calling for the retreat as well, and regroup back up to just 20 seconds left. This is going into the stack of the Talon players. I feel like there's danger online here, but with Primi dropped, it's all navigated. Safe pair of hands. Runner himself leading the charge for the rest of his team with that three-piece. Now it comes down to these individual moments. JitBoys' classic game is looking sharp today, but two, not going to be enough. Ban's left to do quite a lot. A lot of damage done to Kicks and Trex, but you've got to think that discipline. Vitality, yeah, contact from Trex, and if he didn't win it out, there's plenty more players where that came from. So, pistol round, keeping it going here. Vitality, the statistics, leading the charts with it.
And I think you can see in that pistol why they've been so successful. They approach these rounds extremely seriously. They're trying to work out every piece of that defensive utility before they go into the site exec. Was it slightly worrying because they had little time left on the clock? Yes. But if you're comfortable in that position, then it's still going to be very successful for Vitality. That raw individualism, not able to find the value there for Talon, and Vitality picking up big weaponry, Vandal, Phantom, looking to bring that into their bonus round. Another reason why Vitality have got off to such incredible beginnings in their halves. Over a third of the halves, they start up 4-0 just by winning that pistol, follow-up, bonus, follow-up.
It's a big deal. Not just for the economy, obviously. I mean, it's good to have the weaponry, but ult's built up.
I think the Sender's calling's very strong on this map too. So Talon, while this map has been good for them since adding Primi, and Primi on the Clove will give you big moments. You just have to wait and watch. He's much better, in my opinion, in that second-in position rather than the entry, where he can trade out his teammates so consistently. So Talon are going to feel comfortable here, but Sender's calling on attack side is going to look to pick him to pieces.
I planted.
Nice and early plan here for Vitality. There shouldn't be too much danger here for them. Stack of Talon did not pay off. Just thinking about the compositions as well. It's odd for both teams. I mean, they're not playing meta stuff. These are the usual compositions that they will play on these maps. But they are, you know, you've got to think that they play out differently, I suppose. The usual flow chart that we would go into, I think, talking about Lotus. You're talking about, oh, maybe that lurk control over towards A, trying to build up showstoppers for the execs.
I mean, the showstopper is still going to be a really big tool that both teams rely on their attack side. But for Vitality, we have actually seen quite a few teams lean into this double initiator look on Lotus. Where it's supposed to succeed on the defense side is by playing a lot of these heavy retakes. Use plant denial and then retakes to be able to build up strong defense sides. That's an area that Vitality have struggled with. So when the sides swap, then it's anybody's game.
Yeah. We'll be taking a closer look at that.
But I think, yeah, the importance here in these early few rounds of Lotus is for Talon to make sure that Vitality do not snowball out of control. This is a big round for Talon to try to win so that they can avoid that economic collapse.
Imagine their economy as well. They can bring in 3 rifles. Tons of danger here. Vitality in the hands of Runner, Kicks, Trex, excuse me. And early Odin spam. Been a while since we've seen some value gain from that one, but Runner just overextending into the corner, not anticipating it.
Yeah, not thinking that that was going to be coming through. Nice pickup from Cruz, good positioning too. We see that from quite a few teams. But you're right, doesn't normally end in a kill. Vandal, not wasted. Safe gets that one back. Very, very far away from a showstopper. Not even a single point gained for Safe there on that attack side. So it's going to be looking like building up towards that Rolling Thunder instead. Here you see Kicks prioritizing the orb. He's got the one with the spike as well.
He's been straight past the barrier mesh, but it's bursted down at a moment's notice, and they do have this insert. Now a nade over towards B as well. It's posturing occurring, trying to pull these players away to potentially allow Sender to get a cheeky kill, but he's just holding the space for now and takes the speed. I mean, that peak timing is beautiful. Ban had the uTalon in his hands.
It's fantastic calling from Sender. That insert, go and pressure B.
He's going to walk
take another fight.
Oh, it's Primi. He's so alone taking that one, and spam through the smoke will do most of the job. Ending the round basically before it even begins.
And this is what I'm talking about, the Vitality bonuses. They are just so good. You see that it could be set, could have been called on the fly. Either way, a bit of C pressure, break the barrier mesh as soon as it's placed, and get Sender deep. Talon don't really have that protocol to re-clear through water.
That's a really nice idea.
Yeah, and he's just there perfectly. There's not much that Ban can do to think about that.
Yeah.
Unless he's got teammates with him that are willing to flush that out. Both teams should start to get ideas about this kind of stuff, and maybe it'll force Talon to sit back a little more on the C side. Either that or push super aggro. But you don't want to be stuck in a middle ground where you're worried about people infiltrating you.
These guns need to be held into the necks if you are Talon. What is the danger? Safe. Rips one of them away.
And so only the Odin saved. That was a 4v5 as well. Lest we forget, that was with Runner dying at the start to Odin spam straight off the rip. No value gain from his death, just a straight up 4v5. This is the kind of stuff that people were expecting to see from Vitality coming into the tournament.
Yeah, right out the gates.
Exactly. If they can sustain this, then they will start to flip people's perspective of how the team's performing. Because it was a big shock to a lot of people that they ended up going down to Trace early.
And of course, you know, I mean, they were peaking at the right times in EMEA regionally, making it all the way to the finals.
Even with a role change too,
yeah.
Right? They had to recover their season. A lot of people thinking that Vitality would be a great team, really good rookie signings. They didn't do much for the first half of the year, and they recovered that by putting Safe back onto Duelist, swapping up a few of their roles, making a coaching change. And for them to go out in groups today would be devastating for these guys.
No, truly. The expectations are much higher. But for both teams as well, I think the expectations that they've set for themselves are quite high, as we were talking about, you know, that willpower and nerves coming into effect. Frost has very high expectations. He felt like that he should have won that map or match against Leviathan initially.
And I don't think it's completely unreasonable. There was certainly, you know, 80% of the game where Talon were playing very close to left.
Cruz uncleared. All good. Okay, still peeks out into the open though.
And this Odin's pretty far away. You're watching the way that Governor's playing. He doesn't want to lose the Odin. He's playing it in quite a safe, passive spot in that BC connector.
30 seconds left.
He may get a chance to have some damage as Vitality NB.
Incredibly cautious by them. I mean, only again at the 20-second mark, they're making sure they can use full usage of the time. And they have sniffed out the successful A stack, so get the plant down safely over towards B as well. If they can string together a couple of more of these kills, it'll be ideal for them. Ban's still alive and kicking. Off to the side here, but they've got most areas locked down. Sender very aware, of course, of the one-way propped up in front of him. And this should be a very standard job just to clean up these last players.
I'm not sure the Governor's even going to want to go down here. I think saving the Odin would be a priority, but he's got no chance.
No chance.
As the breach util comes flooding into that connector. And so far, it's Sender's calling that's pushing them over the line. Vitality are playing like a very disciplined, well-oiled machine. Talon with an incredibly early tag time.
I was about to wonder, when was it going to come out? Because yeah, I think the calling has just been, as you mentioned, it's stellar. Despite the fact that Vitality be coming into some of these rounds, losing a player with the first death on their side, they've still managed to navigate their way through almost all these scenarios.
Talon need to be disruptive. you're losing the straight-up game if you just sit back and play passively and try to read where Vitality are going. You're clearly getting out-called on the macro in these first couple of rounds. So I'd like to see Talon try to challenge a little more. Look to go for some of these 2 or 3 person re-clears through B. Yes, it didn't work on the pistol. You died to Runner, but that can't dissuade you from going from it entirely. Maybe take a big fight over towards C Mount. If they pressure you, all right. Figure out what happens when you take the fight to Vitality. You already know what happens when you just sit back passively. You lose it. Got to change something up.
Get stuck in, get a bit active. Just to switch things up a little bit here.
And get players online. Primi and Governor yet to find a kill. We've been talking a lot about nerves. It's an elimination game. And the Talon leadership of Frost and Cruz, who are the ones that are going to be having that input there during the attack timeout, they do hold their team to a standard. And they said that they fail to meet it fairly often, which is harsh.
It is harsh, yeah. With inexperienced players, sometimes, listen, a bit of coddling doesn't go amiss. But here we're going to see a bit of an explosive fight over towards A Rubble. Both of these teams gearing up like they want to try and clash here with a fault line. Signaling quite a lot with the TP across, sees, connects, and that is beautiful timing. Laid out one after another here by Talon with a season and aid. It's a big opener with Sender now gone. And a re-exploration out towards C Mound. Doubled up Talon. This is Primi and Ban side by side going to be catching Runner. Unaware, shoulder to the side still. Runner almost adjusting in time, but this is a massive advantage now for Talon. It's all about not squandering it and letting it slip because Vitality already making calls of their own. The contact plays creeping and crawling up through and around here. Governor spotting it. Satchel is nice on either side, pushing them back. But already with Cruz falling, Jitboy's forced to retreat in through the back of the site, and he needs some help and support. Governor up and over the shoulder from that high ground. Trex with a beautiful shot, lands it, nails it, and he wants even more. But a showstopper earned and will get a kill. Dropping Trex in the process, kicks that last one left. Offered these easy 1v1s, and he's brought it to that 1v2. Plant will get the ult online.
Another spot where Ban and Primi probably need to be getting a little active, pushing forwards, catching kicks as he goes for the plant.
Just not committing to it. He's seen no signs of life, and already right from behind, there's the backstab. Talon. They don't want to let that one slip. The beginning of that round when they get off to such a good start with those 2 opening kills.
That's a very solid tack timeout and good adjustment coming off the back of it. It's exactly what we were talking about. Instead of sitting passively on the sites, go out, get that information. Seize nade, well timed together to be able to punish Sender off the rip, but then the double push coming out through C, catching onto Runner, opening up the map massively and forcing Vitality's hand. They had to go for the react into A because they had no info left. As soon as you take the Cypher down. We were waiting for both of these Raze players to get off the blocks. It's Governor, who had 0 kills, goes up to 3 in that round. Big part of why his team was able to get across the line.
Find you.
Probably going to see more of that proactivity from Talon. I mean, the Rubble fight worked out massively in their favor. It was a really good idea.
You see Sender not going for the same teleport this time. There is some luck involved. Saves it.
Through the B side. I mean, Governor's stunned up as well, so he can't really supplement the defense. Hold it against Nade, barrel, down to the feet. Safe is in so much danger here. And a bullet spraying away. Governor is fully aware of the positioning here, but an ult earned up. At least from the prior round, so Kix is holding on to this roll in front with the plant down, and Sender is going walkabouts. Wrapping all the way around, Talon unaware of this, and this is the danger when you're running that deadlock. You don't have that passive map control. Ban, unlikely contendant, still wants a tango. The paranoia is good, excellent in fact, and the kills are being primed up for the taking. TP for the reposition now, Rolling Thunder pushing them back in a way to defuse will not be able to be stuck. And look at this from Sender is working magic. Miracles across the map, making it so damn uncertain. Still down now. Just to the one player, it's Kicks, time running so damn short, it's got to be on his side with the shorty out. But already the round is won. Luckily for him, and Governor cannot play towards it.
That's a 3v5 recovery from Vitality. Another situation where the Talon leadership will be kicking themselves. Losing their minds at what happened there. Safe goes down early on, but they secure the B site, and this play from Sender's marvelous. Talon, you can see, are not as aware of some of the other teams about the shortfalls of the deadlock comp. Love this syncing the Omen ult with the Fade ult, so there's no noise cues. Beautiful stuff. Sender again, the playmaker, the one that's understanding the flaws of how Talon are playing their defense side.
Let's get to the point now where Vitality looking so damn in control of the rest of this game. This opening map, it needs to go Talon's way. Sunset for Vitality, in my opinion, one of their best maps, if not the best map for them.
And kind of low down in Talon's map pool as well.
So
the choices for Talon today to ban were Icebox or Sunset. They went for Icebox. So if Talon are able to win here and win on Bind, it's a very winnable series for them. It really is. But at the moment, underperforming their expectations, their standard.
Going for that re-peek. Out wide, it wasn't really set up with too much more util, but still plucks Sender out of that picture. You need to make plays like that when the weaponry is low. Going for the stack over towards C.
Yeah, they already cleared Sender from this spot. They didn't see anybody else, and yet the rotate still comes through to 5 stack on C, leaving all the rest of the map open. I think that's a mistake, but they'll be rewarded.
Yeah, you're talking about mistakes, man. Safe is almost getting crushed in the hydraulics of the map.
And he's played a really bad game so far. I'm not just talking about the scoreboard. There have been so many moments where Safe is getting caught out. Not what I expected at all for a top 5 duelist.
Flustered. Opportunities. Can't squander them here. Trex is hearing all sorts of footsteps. What is going on with the macro play here? The fast flank of Talon is committed with all 5 of them. They are, I mean, listen, understatement to say that they've lost all map control here. To plant down onto the B site. Flanks on flanks.
Both teams here will be wondering what the hell the other is doing.
Yeah, there's so much unknown. With the Nightfall committed as well, you've got to be aware, obviously, of the one position, but it's fully avoided out wide.
Talon's like, okay, there's nobody on B. They planted B, there's no one here.
Yeah. And who's going to be playing this one for the post? What have they got for it? Sees, flying, but dodged, aftershock, and one of their own as well. That util combo is nasty. No kill annihilation now popped off Talon. Going for the stick here and covering through these smokes as well. A bit of spam will save the arm, and they're all lining up for it. My goodness, damage done. Talon have got to bring this mind from the brain, but they cannot do it. The weaponry too strong. Vitality once more. Just pull him. I mean, dude, they are getting away with so much here.
Yeah, I think the adjustment to try to fight more in the early round is actually working for Talon. It's another round, I think, where they got up 5v3 again, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, that was a big advantage.
They picked off Sender, they picked off Safe. Yeah, it was a 5v3 again. And yeah, the weaponry's not that great. And the plant position is awkward to deal with. But the decision-making is leaving me scratching my head.
It's real strange. Again, another least clash over towards the A-Rubber angle. Last time Vitality were not favored in this one, so they're willing to concede it very early on. Can't get that space. Pivot by Trex potential there. He's just trying to catch the contact with these players. Pre-aim with the bullets.
Trying to make as much noise on B as possible, make himself feel big as Vitality flood into C instead. Talon have not known where Vitality are trying to plant at any point in this match.
Be playing for that retake, mistiming here with a flash and a peek, but at least playing together in the moment. Kicks, he's gone for that plant, spam down straight through the wall. Me off angle is nice, still being hunted down, sprayed down. Sender, that was a messy one, still granted that kill. They need a few more where that came from. Still sitting with that player disadvantage. Governor with a showstopper, but he's going to be dropped, and that's no longer a problem. Now for the reflank, Jit Boys off round. Trex is so damn aware. Dropped them before a moment's notice. Cruise and ban. A lot to do in this spot. Time ticking away. You can hear it, the spike, and this is going to become a problem. And the call is made already. They're just backing away. Got to save some of these guns. But this is a brutal, brutal beginning for Talon, as we've already mentioned. The map pool, when you zoom out, Sunset, it's not one what they're favored on. If they go down early into this series, I mean, where do they win?
I mean, and this is tragic, the way that it's slipping away from Talon. It's another 5v3, Brent.
Yeah.
Another one. That's 3 in a row.
The player advantages, you cannot be dropping them like this.
Especially when Safe is not winning his duels. He's at the bottom of the scoreboard, 2 and 4. Kicks died getting the plant down. Safe dies taking a duel that's pretty reasonable. He just can't get it. And you fumble the 5v3 retake. Doesn't matter what kind of macro ideas you've got if you're losing advantage spots like that.
Just fumbling it here. Bullets are flying forwards towards these Vitality players. Safe's almost dropped
Another round where Safe's very weak and is going to struggle to get value. Another team flash from Vitality.
It feels flustered from both of these teams, but now there's going to be a fight taken with the Showstopper in the hands of Governor. No kills to be found. Any sort of damage as well, but it might be supplemented at least. Primi, the rest of his squad going to be alongside it. Full stack of these players.
Give him another one and then win the 3v5 again. Apparently there need to be 2 sacrifices in order for Vitality to win the rounds. Blood for the Blood God. They're going back over towards C here. This is where the barrier mesh was laid down early on. That is going to be expiring at some point, but Ban's trying to keep that timing in the back of his head. He can hear the shots now too, so he knows for probably the first time that Vitality are looking to end C.
They're in the fight here. Gravitet's going to be held.
At the same time, they actually have opportunities to go back to Runner. You know, they're not full committed to C right now.
Might be soon. Sensors at their back. Kicks needs to be careful of overstepping himself. He's pulled out a lot of that util from the Talon players. And players
they're looking
as well.
to go B. Look at the spot that Runner's got himself into.
Okay.
It's difficult, though, for Safe to get in here. Even with Showstopper, he's so weak.
Cruiser spam could make all the difference. Trex is firing. This guy lighting him up. Primi, chance potentially there with the ult. Not dead yet, but doesn't offer to use it here. Sitting into the fight. Now, damage still done to these Vitality players, but at least they're into the post-plant themselves. And the Neuro Theft lighting up most of them. Talon feeling uncertain, shaky territory. Even with the Nightfall as well, catching. Noise cut away from Jit Boys. One broken as well. A battle on multiple fronts. Trex is locking it down fully, entirely. A tap from Governor, but now looking this way, that way, 180 direction. Not enough eyes available for him to even know which way to play it around in. This is Vitality again. They're just walking all over them.
And I said that Vitality's defense was not amazing, and Talon will look good on the attack side. It doesn't matter if you end up losing this half to this kind of degree. The second half, it's not even really going to get played.
I know. It's, at this point, money's not good for the next round as well for Talon. Spoiler alert. Probably figured that one out yourself.
They need somebody to go huge on this eco to get them back in. They need an 8-4 half here. I mean, could they maybe do it with a 9-3 and a pistol? Like, you're stretching at that point. You are really stretching. And if they lose this, the series is looking so tough to win, almost impossible. And that's champs on the line for Talon, a team that did a great job of even getting here in the first place.
They
want to use this opportunity.
Absolutely. You don't want to just let it drop and slip away. Another exit. 2 matches played, and that's it. That's all you've got to showcase on the big stage. You can't have that being the case. I think back to the beginning, we're talking about the nerves at play, at work. This match, big portion of it feels like who is going to be able to get more comfortable on the stage faster. For Vitality right now, they're in large amounts of control. Safe opportunities for him to get onto the board of a couple of these eco kills. Door open wide. Ban can only do so much. Primi does return that fire now into the 2 versus 2.
There are chances.
Yeah,
there are definitely chances here, but they can't deny the plant. And there's 2 massive ultimates available for Vitality. Primi's got a couple of lives available to him, but massive advantage still in favor of Vitality here.
Talon are just so, I think, scared right now. The possibility that a player could have lurked behind them. You can tell, contacted most of the way into this fight. And Kix is going to be taking that contact with just the jiggle, the jump up as well. That's a punish. Primi, what a peek. I might be trying to make this one workable. Playable. Smoke's dropped down from Jit Boys as well. Heads barely popped up and over. Safe. You have an ult to play with as well. The nade up and over 2. Satchel through. Paranoia. Blinded. Oh, not quite. Avoided. Jit Boys, though, sticking this one. What is the play right now? Fight to be won. Ult. Bounded. Up against the wall, but it's already stuck. Talon. They steal that one away. And can they even be happy with it still? I suppose so. Listen, every single round is going to count at this point.
And that was the round where they had the weak economy. So it is still possible for them to get that 8-4 half up. Safe was banking there on the fact that Jit Boys was just fake tapping on that first one, scared of the ultimate. Overthinking things maybe slightly. I mean, based on what we've seen so far today, it's not like it's perfect Valorant. It's not like your opponents are going to be thinking about every single piece that's available to them. But yeah, Jit Boys was super happy to just stay on that until the ult itself was popped. And we are straight back in here. Talon looking to crunch on Sand.
And it's a tempo increase here with the Paranoia Squad. Not a connection on Descender. He's got to try and drop some of the players, but only himself. Return to Descender. Van Up and over here, Rolling Thunder will be sending them sky high. Trex to follow up as well. The TP from behind Jit Boys, only the one before the trade comes through. It's a 2v3, damage done to Governor. A scrappy affair.
But a spot now where even with the player advantage, Talon can't cover the entire map. You can't really spread out 1-1-1. You're just going to give Vitality too many opportunities. And they found a player.
And a peek by Runner, man. He has ripped Crew's head off.
And now
lock that down.
Reset.
These moments where they're just slowing it down into the mid-round, contacting a lot, is throwing Talon for such a loop.
Yeah, I really love the attack macro. I think the whole of Vitality have got this drilled into them beautifully. Talon need one of these players left alive to come up
30
with
seconds
the play.
left.
It might just come down to these timings with 24 seconds left once more. Double tap here, Primi. Peak timing. Just misses it. Stray shots going wide here. Kicks, I'm not too sure. He is low. A single bullet to the chest will drop him. Kicks. Still going to be going for the plant. Satchel through and across, but the damage done there is Governor dropped into that 1v1. Aftershock pushes back Primi. Only for a moment here. Down to it. Which player will spot each other first? And with the damage done to Kicks, Primi might just be favored. Repositions, rotating around. Smoke props up, just spotting each other. Bodies passing by, and Primi with the tap as well. But Kicks, the issue is not forced out of him. This guy's cold with it! Cold with it!
Really beautifully read there from Kicks. I don't think anybody is sticking that defuse. When both players see each other and you dip into a smoke, Kicks has got the perfect read on what's happening there. Not even worried. And that's a round where Talon would have been hoping that their new acquisition was able to skill things across the line. Take down Runner, take down Kicks, and yet the rookies on Vitality prevail.
Wallah, your eyes cold. Best Estonian player in Champions.
That's true. Estonian Player of the Week, again, of course, for 92 weeks running or
Winning
whatever.
these awards, man. He's racking them up. It's unreal. But this is beyond dire at this point for Talon. Your best outcome is looking at 9-3, and even then you've got to do it with barely any ultimates, barely any weaponry.
And playing against one of the best pistol round teams we have at the tournament.
Yeah, so it's even unlikely into the second half.
Talon trying to get proactive, clearing out B, looking for that info so that they can land it in maybe an unexpected spot for the retake. If they break this trip, of course, though, eyes are going to be looking backwards. People like Runner, people like Trex.
There it is. Trip's going to be broken already. Side control. Giving up and over. Vitality. Under that one. Just needs to get this plant down and active. Just a slight tap as well, seeing if there's some of that utility.
You don't know how many are on the flank here.
You really don't. There's a TP as well through Rubble, just to clear that one. Talon looking to try and take this one purely from the flank and buying time and space. Cruz, Jit Boys, maybe to do some work and some damage, but Runner's going to be catching the contact here alongside the boom bot. The Horn is beautiful. Annihilation, though. That's going to be trading it. Bit of post-mortem, not to be saved on this outcome. Doors opened up. Sees as well. Giving this one up into that 4v4. Now another TP here, but Jit Boy sticking this all the way. Defuse is sticking! Running through, shot into the face. A 10th round dropped in a lab of Vitality. And with how good they've been on these pistol rounds, Josh, man, as we've been saying, it just feels inevitable.
It certainly does. This is the Vitality that people were looking for, the #2 seed from EMEA. Looking almost unstoppable in their region since they swapped Safe over to Duelist. They went missing at the beginning of their group, but they're back with a vengeance. And Talon have got to pull out something unbelievable, something special to get back into this.
They really do, but for now as well, we'll send it down to the floor for a nice little interview at the halftime.
Hello everyone, it's Bella back with the halftime interviews. I'm joined by a very special NA Game Changers player star. Hello. 안녕하세요. 이제 오늘 이번 챔스의 탈론 경기마다 이렇게 매번 방문하고 계신다고 들었는데 이번 서울 챔피언스 좀 어떻게 즐기고 계신지 먼저 묻도록 하겠습니다. Heard you're here every day for all talent matches. How are you enjoying Seoul Champions?
I love it. I love watching the matches. I like feeling the vibe of like the stadium. It's really fun.
현장에 와서 경기도 보고 이 현장 분위기에 심취하는 게 가장 재밌게 즐기고 계시다고 하네요. 그리고 이제 벤 선수를 응원하기 위해서 이렇게 매일 방문하면서 좀 응원도 많이 해주고, 그리고 가장 중요한 건 오늘 경기 어땠는지 이야기를 좀 들었을 수 있을 것 같아요. 먼저 물어보도록 하겠습니다. You're here every day for Ben, and I'm sure he really appreciates that. Can you tell me what was his mindset going in before today's match?
I think he was just really excited to play. I mean, making champs was definitely one of his goals for the year, and he definitely met that. And now I think he's just hungry to win. So.
이제 정말 이제 그냥 신났고 경기를 할 수 있음에 너무 즐거움을 느끼고 있고요. 그리고 챔스를 얼마나 간절히 원했는지 알기 때문에 이제는 챔스 진출했으니 승리만 가져가면 된다고 합니다. 그리고 이제 스타리 씨도 NA 게임 체인저스 선수시잖아요. 이제 탈론이 컴백을 하기 위해서 좀 어떤 변화를 주면 좋을지 물어보고 싶습니다. You're also a game changers player. What do you think Talon needs to do to make a comeback?
Honestly, I think they all just need to step it up. They look like they're sleeping on the stage a little bit. Like, this is not how they usually play. They're a lot better than this. So.
원래 하던 대로 지금 못 보여주고 있으니 좀 잠에서 좀 깨서 원래 탈론의 맛을 보여주면 된다고 하네요. 그럼 저희는 다시 로터스로 돌아가겠습니다. Back to Lotus.
Sleep at the stage, I think, as well. But maybe, you know, there's a chance that they're getting a little bit too flustered as well, as we were talking about near the beginning. This pistol round, we always highlight the importance of them. This time, it's a necessary win for Talon, but they're up against Vitality. They have been clean with it.
And it looks like Vitality are setting up for a push out through Mound here. But it might also have a component that pushes B. And you've got Kicks and Trex in that position. Two players that have been firing. They decide not to go for the aggression, though. Purely setting up Sender and Safe. Now anchoring the B site.
Actually, these players are going to try and pivot this one. Okay, there's Paranoia primed with the door opened wide, but they don't spot any players. So
Talon avoid giving away information, but then throw smokes out. So now Jitboys doesn't have any smokes for another 5 seconds. So they can't go for any kind of exec just now.
Yeah, and it's not like they're running a Viper either.
Another situation where Vitality have got a lot of info and Talon haven't contested them for it or made them pay in any way.
And the setup is quite nice. It's a kill trip to play off out through A. Don't expect that one. Down close to the floor. Prowler will not be clearing it. Kicks with a jump spot as well. Not too sure if he got that information, but it seems likely, at least with the smoke now up in their face. Cruz pull the knives away. Gives Safe that timing to prime that nade. Still Runner out through the back of the site and he's got to do quite a bit. He's lucky not to be dead. Governor just did not clear the corner properly, even though he's inside the camera. Already that aftershock, pushing him back and away. Prowler in the face. Kicks. He's already in there. Getting stuck straight into the fight. Players flooding all the way through. Vitality. Add another one to the tally. This pistol round win rate is going through the bloody roof. And the map is just being stolen away right now from Talon.
Talon have never had ownership of it. That would be a prerequisite for any kind of theft to have occurred. And it's the same two players, Trex and Kicks, doing such a great job. They were anchoring B when it looked like Talon were going to be heading there. And then as they make the pivot, using those clove smokes to supplement the Omen smokes there on C, it's again Trex and Kicks anchoring, getting those kills, playing incredibly for the team. They've got 30 kills between them.
Uh-oh. The rubble fight here and the force up as well. Sender right into their faces. Damage done to him, but he's still alive here. With the Paranoia flying forwards as well as team to play off all the little bits and pieces. Util down, dropping, and maybe feeding away. Primi has done so much into that spot. Runner, it's not the last one left. They weren't expecting that.
A slight overheat from Vitality there, and Primi's happy to collect. Runner's healthy, the others aren't.
And they're holding for this push as well. Runner maybe even expecting that they were already going to be up onto that site. With the slightest amount of discipline, and Talon are granted the tiniest of lifelines.
It would be a long, long road back. This is the side, though, again, where you get that big impact out of Primi. He likes using the aggression of other players to be able to trade off them. He is top of the scoreboard, but far away from being top when you consider the players on the other side.
Trex has just been a monster this entire map. He had very high peaks as well during EMEA playoffs.
He certainly did.
Showcasing very similar form, at least so far. For now, Vitality down to those weaker buys as well. I mean, Kix has managed to get himself at least some sort of gun as well, just because the way that Vitality manage their economy off the back of pistol rounds. They usually keep one player just so they can buy rifles. But I doubt they'll be able to get too much damage done just with the Spectre in hands. A tap from Governor. He's very scared at a trap play potential because, listen, every round counts. You can't afford to let anyone slip.
It actually looks like a trap play on the other side of the map. You see the cam inside tree here. Potential for a long-range stun coming from Kix. There is a chance that players inside tree could get caught. But Talon don't appear to be drifting in that direction.
Horn doesn't get broken for Vitality. What is util? Flying out towards B. It's a fake though, and now they're going straight back into A. Ban only the one before the trade comes through. Now Talon might just want to commit fully into this B side as well, but going walkabouts is the danger zone, especially when you're up against the eco, but still, Spectre in hand.
30 seconds left.
Movement ajar. They take it in another direction entirely. Pivot over towards C will be that free plant.
3v4 where two of the players actually have some weaponry to work with. Talon still have to be disciplined in this spot.
Plan for Mound, they're all going to be played back there. No one on site.
They've got a couple of weapons that are good for Mound. Obviously, Governor's isn't that great, but the rest should be able to play this Mound post plant nicely. Primi, however, though, with the Outlaw, I mean, his weapon's one of the best, and he's playing pretty deep in.
It's a strange angle.
He has to not get caught.
Up and over, but as soon as the cage has popped up as well, realizes there's some danger there. Runner taps it, forcing out the spam. Now realizing nobody's quite on this one. Again, the gun should sail them through quite nicely. Through most of it. If the guns don't, the time pressure certainly will. And nice bit of precision at the end there on display by Primi.
Snappy shot. Yeah. One away from the ult as well. And now we get to see a rifle round to some degree. I mean, Talon are going to have all right weaponry heading into their bonus. The economy tends to be a bit better for the team that breaks the pistol. So they're going to be coming in with Outlaw, 2 Vandals. It's going to feel much more like a rifle round. Can Talon keep this momentum going just a little longer?
Trex has got an Odin. Spam's going to be incoming here with a rebel fight. Hear most of this. Trex doesn't go for the spam though. Door's opened wide as well. He's going to be under a lot of pressure.
What a flick.
Yeah, bullet tagged up. Governor just shrugs it off. Lands the bullet anyway. Beautiful first kill now for Talon, but it's all about how push past that point. Got the advantage. It's all about not dropping it.
Remember how many 5v3s they lost in that first half. 3 in a row. Vitality looking to try to equalize this by taking a risk. Safe and Kix doubled up, pushing out through B. It's where the spike is, but I think they'll just miss the timing.
It's an awkward one. Runner, jump spotting. Here's the horns. Sees the bullets. You don't want anything to do with that one, but you're going to be making a call for the team. Talon don't give up a rubble control this whole time. Still locking it down just in case they do want to drift back into that direction. Safe is also going on. Re-exploration, punished for it. Jip Boys drops him. 30 seconds left.
30 seconds left.
That's an unusual one.
Strange angle to be fighting on.
Yeah.
Actually, from both of those players, Safe and Jip Boys.
So they stopped to 20 health though, and now doesn't feel like it's over towards A, but they should see this door rotating. Guns exchange once more. Time is running short here. There's no way Sender's going to be playing spoiler. Surely not. Haunts broken. TP up and over. Dodging most of the nade as well. He wants to make a go of this one. This is getting cheeky. But Governor's watchful eye is on all of it. It's ruling that sight with a nice iron fist. And so runners once more left to do quite a bit into this spot, but unplayable really at this point in a 1v4.
And Talon have done a great job here. They had that opportunity to bonus up. They decided to actually invest into Vandals. They got rid of the Guardian, got rid of the Spectre. They still had the economy flourishing. And they've knocked Vitality down. When Vitality won the pistol, that pretty much should have been game over. Straight through to Sunset, keep that momentum into your map pick, close things out easily. Textbook Valorant. But Talon are fighting. They're not just going quietly.
Yeah, pulling whatever hidden reserves are left, honestly. Not willing to give up because the whole year's building up to even just make this event. You do not want to be going out early as one of the weakest teams at the event. It's just Not where their expectations are going to be leveled. Doesn't matter about anybody else's.
And Talon took a huge risk just signing Primi in the first place.
Oh, yeah.
They had a team that was making it to that playoffs level in the city, and they chose to take a gamble to try to push them over the line. And it worked. I think prior to signing Primi, they did actually look a little weaker than Team Secret. Got Primi in. They just needed that one win against their rivals, and they beat Team Secret, with Primi having really huge impact in that game. They get to champs. I mean, they double their take. If you want to talk about what that actually does for you, just making it to champs too. Doubling their take from the champ skins.
Oh, yeah.
That's huge already for any organization.
Money.
Should already be considered a win, but they're competitors. They're here to try to win some of these games too.
Exactly. The money is just almost like, I mean, it's a secondary objective. You're not even worried about it. As a pro player, your hopes and dreams rest on lifting a trophy, and there's no trophy bigger than the one that's at the end of this event.
Vitality are going to have to take an eco round, and they're also taking their first tactical timeout of the match. They were running away with the game. It was very comfortable, so this is the first time that they've really had to adjust anything. I think one of the things that's going wrong for them a little bit is that they're not catching Talon with their utility when they peak. A lot of the peaks are actually ended up being kind of dry. Now, I'm not a big fan of the way that Vitality play their defense on this map. I think their attack is immaculate. I think they're wonderful with that. Their defense, though, they don't lean into playing those big, heavy retakes, saving utility, bit of plant denial, get into good spots, flood retake. I don't really see that from Vitality in the same way that you do from the Americas teams when they're playing the Breach Fade comp on this map. I think it's an area they could improve on. But Runner, with the only hero rifle, takes down Ban early.
I mean, he's the one who takes point there, hoping that players will just walk into him, and he was blessed with it.
But Talon, patient. Jitboys needs to not overheat in this spot. He can't afford to die.
Okay, that's a lovely adjustment. Just snaps to the head of Runner. Removes him from the fight, but the rifle will be reclaimed into the hands of Safe now. Orbs farmed up. Talon trying to play towards some of these key pieces of util ultimates.
And with the door open, they could be going in either direction. Nice jump spotting from Trex.
Yeah.
He's pretty confident now that this is going to be a C hit.
Smoke fades though, he's going to have to back off here. Still, they hear this one. Do they have any sort of protocols? Yes, they do. Satchel away. Trex, he's spamming, praying that he survives here, but a C's off into the back as well. Safe over the shoulder, but he has been cleaned up. Damage definitely done with that ghost in hand. Still, it's Talon who barreled their way over most of this one here. Now, Cruiser the plant will not be stuck. Primi defends though. He's pretty certain he knows what that last player is. Jitboys, make sure that the death isn't in vain.
What an important round for Jitboys to be coming online. If he takes that fight towards B and he loses it, that's probably the round. Massively important that he won that fight. I'm not sure he should have been taking it in the first place, to be honest, but they really wanted to apply that B pressure, and they did. He brought things back into a 4v4. But let's see what that Vitality tag timeout was looking to accomplish. They're one away from Showstopper, from Rolling Thunder.
It's another
massive
fight
ultimates.
as well. Yeah, massive ultimates. Barely there, and kills will do it. Grant it, earn it. Governor's up and over as well with a TP. That's a reveal. Onto Safe. They still want to take this fight straight up into their face. TP's around center. He's cutting up ankles and potentially cutting up players too. Rolling Thunder to set this play up. Governor had nowhere to run. Just hopping up and down into the same spot here. That's barely 20 seconds into the round. A pivot has to be played now by Talon. But we can see this trip into his face. Kicks is also holding it. Broken. He's missed the timing though. Primi's passed it and he's squaring up for the fight, but not going to be given it. Slow and steady by Vitality. Realizing that they're a player up. They've got them relatively surrounded. There is that weak point up towards Heaven. Barrier mesh up.
Trex deciding not to break it, waiting for reinforcements first.
Right out through here. He's trying to take point and contact. Still kicks! You cannot be dominating this! My God! A 6-piece available, and here and now! Goodness me!
What an unbelievable play! Not just the ace, the 6-piece on top. This rookie player has never aced in VCT before, and he's just brought that out at Champions.
That's a hell of a way to do it. Yeah. My goodness, man.
What a beautiful setup with the Rolling Thunder as well, re-clearing through that position after Safe got caught in the grab net. These peaks are abominable from Talon, let's just put it as it should be. Not playing around Primy's ultimate, not swinging together. They fed into kicks, but he was there and he delivered for all 6. He's got 20 kills.
Yeah. That is composure in the moment as well. You're being swarmed by bodies, and as you mentioned, listen, the peak wasn't great from Talon. It was very individualistic. It was all over the place.
They had so many things they could have synced up there. I mean, Primy is ulting. They can try to double swing the other 2 players. They can try to wait until Primy comes out of ult and swing with that.
Yeah.
They can have Primy swing first as well, so that he actually tries to get some value from the ult itself. Just things going very lost in that moment, but playing perfectly into Vitality's hands.
Yeah,
with kicks getting 6.
I mean, capitalizes.
Yeah, beautiful.
Talon's timeout is the last one that they've got as well. They were saving it for a rainy day, which happens to be now. It probably was a while ago as well, if we're being fair, but it's a 6 rounds difference, and it would have to be perfect from here on out from Talon.
Right there.
Fully grouped up again with 5 of them. Set the sights over towards C Mound as just the one objective they want to fight over. Means they're going to be lacking a lot of this map control as well off the rip here. Vitality. Runner has got his full setup over towards this C side. TP into spawn. Jitboy's inside the one-way. It's pinged out of Paranoia. Did not connect. Jitboy still collects that kill. Runner, with him drop, the setup is down, and his team have easy access. Satchel through alongside the flash as well. And Util flying forwards. Jitboy cannot hold his own. Needs that backup and needs it now. Ultra popped off, flying forwards, backwards, this way, that way. Showstopper. It's all an abundance of Util. And enough to save the day here for Vitality. A clean sweep unless Ban has something to say about it. All broken, but they know where Ban is. Prowler towards his back, running him down. Racing him down. Individual fights earned and utilized, but Vitality in the end with that discipline, doubling up to seal up the map.
A huge one for Vitality to take. In control the entire time. We got highlight moments, beautiful macro calling, and Safe finishes things off with the defuse. One of the biggest things that Safe said he learned this year was that it overwhelmed him to know that his teammates had his back, that he didn't need to carry every game. And you've just seen it again.
Yeah, evidence there. It's made manifest with that opening map, and it only gets better for Vitality. We're going into Sunset. Their map pick coming up next.